Testing. 1, 2. This is Mermaid Lauren, I suppose. I love my name, but I also don't love my name. Some of the definitions of my name means man from Laurentum. I'm like, wow, sexy.
I want to see him
Dancing.
Hey mermaids, it's Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is
Lauren,
my mergal pal, and you are listening to the Everyday Mermaid podcast. Now, you may be wondering, if you're watching the YouTube version, who is this lovely mermaid in the middle of us? Well, this is Mermaid Linden! Welcome!
Oh,
shucks!
thanks, girl.
Oh, my word.
Where are we right now?
We are in Los Angeles.
City of Angelfish.
Yes, girl. I love it. So we're in Los Angeles, and we were like, man, who lives here that is a mermaid that is awesome? And you immediately came to mind.
It's so true.
And it's perfect because last episode, Nerd Made Faith for her Tale Review Time did a great review on your Monofin.
Completely unrelated, by the way.
We had no idea that this was happening. No. It just happened. And
it was miraculous.
It was miraculous. And
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
It's like a mouthful of tea.
Yes. But mermaid to be, because this is fantastic. And we are literally sitting, I mean, she opened up her grotto to us, and it's
so pretty.
There's literally like shells in the walls, and her like mermaids everywhere, and I mean, it's the most
so green.
Oh my gosh, there's just like plants and just... Yes. I mean, thank you for letting us come to your home.
Girls, I'm kind of pinching myself because you're here in 3D in my grotto, where I usually sit watching your show and listening to your podcast. I am honored beyond honored that you, just so tickled that you invited me onto the podcast, and thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I am so excited to be here.
It is our pleasure.
And have you here.
We were in the happiest place in the world yesterday, and literally
now
both of us said, oh my gosh, we're so excited about tomorrow.
Yeah. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. So, okay. For what?
Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. I was just going to say, you know, as far as like the OG mermaids are, like, I mean, you are an OG mermaid. Like, you were mermaiding before it was cool, before it was like the trendy thing to do.
Yes.
Like, I just need to know how you got started in mermaiding, and then we can just like explode from there, because I want to know, how did this happen?
Well, gosh, it's kind of a complicated, but yet not.
We love
organic.
Complicated.
We love complicated.
Well, I like to keep things simple. So the short and long and middle and diagonal of it is that as a little merling, I was growing up in Amish country, Pennsylvania.
Oh my!
Wow.
Yes, a far cry from the city of Angelfish.
Yes.
I was hailing from cornfields, cows, horse farms, and
no water deep enough to sink your tail in.
Well, if you swam to the Jersey Shore, it was possible.
Okay.
And there were some lakes and there were some creeks with little frogs. But I have always loved nature. I've always loved nature. And we didn't have cable for much of my childhood. So I ended up watching a lot of PBS.
Okay.
You know where I'm going with this, girls.
Okay. Yes.
I am obsessed with Jacques Cousteau. I was so excited every time the Undersea Adventures of Jacques Cousteau would come on, or there was a wildlife documentary on PBS, or they'd bring a BBC show to PBS.
The BBC.
BBC. Bless them.
Quality television for
So good.
eons.
So David Attenborough, secretly, he narrates my life. In
Right.
my
As he should. As he should.
Ooh, and as she walked down the steps of the grotto, a small Pacific slope flycatcher swooped in.
with its little grasping claws holding in it a worm. You know, whatever it is. I hear this in my head. It's no joke. It's a thing. I'm a geek. I'm such a geek. So the whole reason I became a mermaid is because I wanted to share my geeky passions with the world.
Yes,
That's the short of it.
Okay.
The somewhat little longer of it is that growing up watching these documentaries and reading all the encyclopedias and books about fish and bugs and wildlife, I wanted to create documentaries.
Wow.
Okay.
So my dream was to be an underwater wildlife documentary cinematographer.
Oh my gosh. We
So-
have so much to talk about later.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Because we had nothing to talk about before.
Right.
So we've been so bored, you guys.
Gosh.
Nothing to talk about. These girls, I shallow into the pool. I don't even know what to say. Totally kidding. So I ended up ultimately choosing to go to film school. And I took a little time off. I started doing television production unbelievably when I was like 16 years old.
Wow.
So I've been editing now, just to give you an idea, I've been editing for 22 years.
Whoa.
And filming and things. But yeah, I'm like, oh God, I'm old. But it's okay. I am seasoned.
You are seasoned.
Yes.
Salty and
Love that.
seasoned.
Yes, girl.
And
Weathered.
so
Yeah. If you will.
weathered. I will. And so ultimately I chose to go to Emerson College in Boston.
Okay. Oh, no.
yeah.
That's where my boyfriend went. He's from outside of Boston.
Holy sea cow,
my
guys.
word.
The degrees of separation are few.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Know your audience. Always know your audience.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Okay, well.
Wow,
Whale,
what a
whale,
connection.
whale.
Whale. It's one of my favorite memes on the internet, by the way.
Yes.
Me too.
Anywho, Emerson College.
Went to
Boston.
Emerson.
Got it.
I took time off before I went to Emerson.
Okay.
I was a weirdo, didn't go straight to college. Everyone thought I was some flunky fail out. Like, what are you going to do with your life?
I'm actually a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm a big proponent.
Why anybody thinks an 18-year-old knows what
Oh
choices
my
to make for the
Lord.
rest of their life is
Even
beyond me.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
I was 17 when I graduated.
Yeah.
So I was really, I wanted to make sure I wanted to be in the workforce working in television and film. So by the graces of Neptune, I ended up working for a local TV station and news station and was editing news stories, packages, running teleprompters, learning all that. And then I went to college and I knew more than the teachers and the kids knew.
Yep.
Because I'd been in the workforce. But it was amazing. And I saved up sand dollars and I started, just going right into school with a different attitude than most of the kids around me.
That's super mature.
Instead of going my freshman year of college, and I've never been a big party person, but I know I would have been more of a party person had I not just spent that time after high school just existing in the social
Yes,
world and the
for
social
sure.
realm. There were a lot of reasons it was beneficial. But so when I went to Emerson, which is a 4-year college, I was ready. I was primed. I knew this was what I wanted to do. I was very focused, literally and figuratively, on, and I worked everything from, oh gosh, I have the craziest background, but I was doing, I was repairing film cameras, 16 millimeter film cameras
Oh my
for the
gosh.
college Bolexes. They're wind-up cameras. They're amazing. I was doing live concert camera work at the Tweeter and Fleet Boston Pavilions. So I was running the Jumbotron cameras
Yeah.
on the weekends. I was an RA all through school to help cover it. I was running all my full-time credits and some extra credits. And I was in all kinds of clubs like FPS, the film club, where we were doing films extracurricularly. Is that a word? Did I make that up?
We do it all the time.
In addition, yes, it's a Lindenism. So anyway, it was crazy. College was amazing, but mermaiding. So Emerson didn't have an underwater department per se for filmmaking.
Are there colleges that do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Really?
Brooks used to, but now Brooks is gone. It's terror sadness.
Oh gosh.
But no, there are schools that have these departments, but Emerson was not one of them. But I did a double in environmental science and filmmaking,
Wow.
and took all of the science classes I could get my fins on, and did my first underwater film with a Bolex 16 millimeter wind up film camera.
Oh my gosh. No, you did not.
Inside of an
What?
aquarium because I'm
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Yeah. No, we've done that
I
before.
left it open,
Yep.
dropped it in, had
Yep.
weights in the bottom, floats on the top so it wouldn't go beneath the surface,
Yep.
and wound it up and filmed it. I still have this little film. I did put it onto, I digitized it. So anyway, that's how I started. And then how did I get out to LA? I came out for my senior year of my final semester of Emerson, and we have an LA internship program where in theory you gracefully enter into the world of television,
Sure.
film, and an internship and then stay here.
Sure.
The placement is very high. So I was still in RA. So I'm RAing, doing my last credit load, interning at Film Garden Entertainment, which did some wildlife related work and started going into reality, which wasn't really my thing, but it's okay. I learned a lot. It was great.
Yep.
And then as soon as I saved up enough sand dollars, I got scuba certified. It was a dream come true. I cried underwater in the kelp forest in my mask.
Oh my gosh.
It was pure magic. I lost my
You don't
mind.
really want to cry
Yeah.
inside of a scuba mask because, like you're trying to keep it dry.
Right, right.
Steam.
Yeah.
Steam. I was steaming up my mask because I was just crying happiest, saltiest tears because I'd only seen these kelp forests in IMAX films.
Yeah.
Like Howard and Michelle Hall films and Nova and Jacques Cousteau. And here I was in this cathedral of kelp. Oh, just
gosh.
Amazing. And I thought to myself, Linden, you're doing something right. And then I found out about free diving.
Yep.
Right after I got certified. And I went to a big scuba convention called DEMA, which is the Diving Equipment Marketing Association. And I met all these people, and I met these world champion freedivers, and I instantly was obsessed.
Yeah.
So I instantly started getting trained in freediving, which is breath hold diving, which many of you know now. It's a much more common thing. The
a thing.
sport has grown tremendously
Yes.
since this period of time. So I went... I'd gotten hired as the residence director
Oh my gosh.
at the LA I know.
Like you didn't have enough.
I know. So I graduated, instantly got hired as the RD, was doing all these filmmaking projects on the side, but had a beautiful apartment right out of school, was able to start paying off student loans. It was great. You know, I was like, I got this. I have benefits. Yes. And I continued working with the production company I was interning for. And then I started shooting stuff like freelance underwater shooting, just anything I could get onto. I'd be like, I'll shoot back, BTS for you, whatever you want, anything.
Right.
And people were like, who's this little 24-year-old bebopper, losing her mind? So everybody brought me, and they're like, come on to our set, come do this. Oh, we'll bring you for that. So I got brought on to do an underwater documentary shoot about freediving in Grand Cayman.
Wow.
Got my passport, girls.
Yes.
And I went to Grand Cayman.
Did it change your life?
It changed my life.
Oh my gosh. My heart.
The
Like,
Grand Caymans can do that.
oh, my heart's just a fluttering to this story. Keep going.
Sorry, it's long-winded.
I don't care.
just Feel free keep to edit talking.
this down.
No, please keep talking.
Sorry. I was in this scuba gear with my camera filming these free divers going down the
Oh my
line
gosh.
into the blue with these incredible, beautiful, graceful undulations. And I'd never seen a monofin until then. The rest, my girls, is history.
Okay.
Mandy Ray Cruikshank from Canada, who is a multiple time world champion freediver, an incredibly kind and sweet woman, and the generous soul who let me try my first monofin.
Wow. Which was a?
It was a Waterways.
Okay.
It was a Waterways monofin. And I mean, I'll just never forget it. I looked at her feet. I was like, I think we have the same shoe size. So I'm like taking off my clunky scuba gear. I came up from my safety stop. I have my gear. She had just set a world record.
Sure. Yeah,
As
no big deal.
one does.
Yeah, no big deal.
Sure, it's fine.
We all get on the boat. I'm like, Mandy, amazing. I was like, which shoe size do you wear?
Yeah. Let's talk about the really important stuff right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you put on the monofin,
Yeah.
and then
I slipped into the fin on the back of the boat, and it was like the sun was starting to go down. It was a beautiful evening. It's like cotton candy skies. It's idyllic.
yes.
I slip into the water, and I wasn't going to do any depth diving because you don't do that after you scuba dive. You don't free dive after you scuba dive, folks. Never free dive after you scuba dive. Ever.
Okay. Good to know.
Compression issues, bubbles, bad.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah, but true.
All in the brain.
Huh.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Take a class, learn your safety. Okay. Big proponent of safety.
Educate yourself.
So I went horizontally across, just under the surface of the water, and I couldn't believe how fast I went. I couldn't believe how powerful it felt, and I knew at that moment that I was a mermaid. Like I really was a mermaid. It was beyond just me being obsessed with and wearing out my Little Mermaid VHS tape in the early 90s.
We
It
know
was
nothing about that.
Yep. The sound was gone.
Yeah.
It was beyond watching Jacques Cousteau. It was beyond imagining that at swim team practice as a child, all through my youth, I was a mermaid swimming with my feet together in butterfly. It was just unbelievable, the sensation. And I popped up from the water, from underwater, and the boat was like way over there. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And that was it. And I thought, I need a fin. I need to make a tail. And this is how I educate kids about the ocean.
Oh.
This is the catalyst for memorable, exciting edutainment.
Yeah.
And that is why I do what I do. It's not because I want to be a pretty mermaid. Right. It's not because I want to, seem like I'm this Hollywood glamour puss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not at all. In fact, that's not really me. And I feel very uncomfortable if I'm depicted that way or if it appears like I'm trying to be that because I'm really not.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a byproduct. That's a byproduct of this career that I fell into.
Yeah.
Which was really just a vessel for education and getting kids excited about conserving our oceans, which is something I've been passionate about since I watched those documentaries as a child. Yeah. So that really is a very long but honest description of the tale.
My
Of
gosh.
So amazing.
I need some lemon.
So,
Drink
so
your
wait,
lemonade.
what was like your first like full tail?
My first full tail was my silicone tail.
Your personal, like the one you created. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I went straight into it.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky. I'm really charmed. I don't know what I did in a past life, but when I put my mind to something, everything lines up. I get really focused, really clear on what I desire, and I have a very clear vision in my imagination. And suddenly the people and the resources and the opportunity and the time just usually line up for me. And this was no exception of that.
My gosh, I'm feeling all the feels.
I'm like,
Yeah,
tearing up
because
over
and me
here.
too. Because like I truly like I've set my mind to something, and I think you're like I was supposed to meet you. Oh my god.
Oh, my sweethearts. Oh, my sweethearts. Oh, guys, I'm not trying to make them cry. We're getting really extra salty
well,
today.
you have to, like, I think like one of the other things you have to understand is that like this podcast was never supposed to be what it's become. It was never supposed to like go as far as it's gone. Yeah, like she just called, like I had been in a couple of her videos. We've been friends for a really long time.
Yeah.
And so like I've been in a couple of her videos and like she just called me one day and was like, I want to do this. I was like, sure, why not? Like absolutely. I love to talk. I can't shut up.
Yes, Lauren. That's my Well, and she loves to talk about the same things that I like to talk about. So I was like, Lauren, let's do this.
Yes. And so, it's super easy. And when it just like flowed into each other and then people started listening.
Yeah.
And we're like, are we talking about things that are important? Yeah. And I guess we are like important to other people. Yeah. And then, like this trip happened really organically too. I was invited to a wedding for some friends of mine and I was like, I haven't taken a vacation in forever. Like, I'm just going to go for a week. And then I was like, this is actually perfect because there's people in LA. Yeah. Like
there are people and they're mermaids.
They're mermaids.
I just want to point out my heart is so full of exploding right now. I'm a delayed reaction crier, so give me another 30 to 60 seconds.
Well, and I'm like, Abby does not cry. Abby does not have feelings. And like it just is a flowing. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Let's take a breather. Let's all just everyone put your hands on your legs and face those palms up.
Okay. I'm my preschool teacher, so you have to smell something when you breathe. What do you want to smell?
Oh.
It's not really like a real thing, like an imaginary thing. When I breathe in my kids. Lilacs. Abby, what do you want to smell?
Probably roses.
Okay, so we're smelling lilacs, roses, and lavender for me. So ready? So do it again.
So floral.
Yes. That's lovely.
I'm just so happy.
We are.
I love Oh my God.
Mermaid podcast listeners, all of you everyday mermaids and even someday part-time mermaids out there. I just want you to understand how genuine, authentic, and wonderful these ladies are. I am so honored to be sitting here with them and to have them here. I am just, oh gosh, wow.
gosh.
This is cool stuff right now.
Yeah. Holy moly.
So
Be
yeah.
authentic, be real, because you will have true moments of passion and relation in your life like nobody's business, and that's what life is about.
Yes.
You never know who you're gonna meet.
You just never know. And like, my heart is just full. It's just full right now. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was unexpected.
Okay.
Lots of things came out. Okay.
Consider. It's fine.
Okay.
How long have you been in LA?
I moved to Los Angeles in 2003, August 17th, 2003.
Wow.
16 years. Almost 16 years.
Almost 16 freaking years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And because I know what it was like for me when I first moved to LA, which was tough. What was it? How was your introduction to the city of angelfish?
I mentioned earlier, I'm just kind of charmed and lucky. And universe lines stuff up for me really generously, and this was no exception. I came out here with my school program,
Right.
So it was predetermined. I knew I was coming out. As I mentioned earlier, I'm from Amish country, Pennsylvania.
Right.
My parents were still living in Amish country, Pennsylvania at the time when it was determined I would move to Los Angeles for this internship program. One day, my mother calls me in my dorm room. I answer the phone. Hello. No, I didn't say that back then. I'm just kidding. Future self answers phone.
Self.
No. Yeah. So my mom tells me, she's like, guess what? I'm like, what? She's like, we're beating you to LA. And I'm like, who? Who's beating me to LA?
Yeah.
Your father and I just both got job offers
Whoa.
in LA.
Oh my gosh.
And we're
I just
beating
got
you
chills.
out there by 8 months.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh. That is crazy.
Crazy. And then it was even cooler because I had a crush on a guy at the time in Boston who went to Emerson. He came out in the internship program too. We ended up dating.
Wow.
So my parents beat me out here, already knew their way around. I already had a home base to go to that wasn't a dorm room.
Amazing.
Then all of my classmates that had come out previously,
Yep.
many of us stay. They call us the Emerson Mafia out here.
Yep, true.
It's a big thing, you know, from your merman.
Yeah.
And we're thick as thieves out here. We support each other, help each other, get each other jobs. There's a whole network of Emersonians out here. So not only was I dialed in with my boyfriend was now here, my parents were now here, all my classmates from previous classes, but then present and then future who are still rolling out because I was friends with everybody in all grades. Didn't matter. In college, you know, it doesn't matter. And then additionally, I got hired as the residence director, so I had a job instantly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was the softest landing I think you could ever ask for.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
It felt like, why haven't I been here my whole life?
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that was not the case for you, Lauren.
Nope. Not on the side. Well, I also took mine was a big risk coming out. Like
Yeah.
I had just been living at home. Like I'd graduated college, I'd been living at home for a couple of years, and a friend of mine was already out in LA and needed a new roommate, and that was it. That was the end of it. But of course, I get out to LA, and the thing about Los Angeles is that it doesn't care if you stay or if you go.
True.
It'll chew you up and spit you out either way. I've said that before, and I'll say it over and over again. So you have to make it your own. You have to do what you need to do to like create your space. You got to carve it out. And so for probably the first 6 months to a year, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'd kind of discovered early on that like doing the acting thing was not going to work out for me. Like I just don't have the passion for it.
It's hard.
It's so hard. Oh. I don't have the passion for it, and I'd rather not clog up the drain for somebody else. Like if somebody else has their chance and they love it to bits and pieces, because I do love it, but I love it for me. I don't love it for money. And so doing it for money can kind of ruin that if you're not careful.
Can
So
ruin anything.
yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, go, be, do. I'll find my own way. And so then I made a friend who was not part of the group that I had been adopted into. So like we created our own history together. And then she was a foodie. Always make friends with a foodie.
Yes, girl.
Always make friends with a foodie. Because she'd just call me and be like, there's this restaurant I've been wanting to try. Get in the car. We're going.
Amazing.
And the best food, like places I never would have gone to because I'm like, that doesn't look like I'm going to come out of there alive. So I'm not going. And we'd go, it was so good.
There's a bee on the door. I'm not going in. We have letter grades in LA for restaurant cleanliness and stuff.
Yeah. Right?
You want only A pluses and A's.
But oh my gosh, they were so good. Like I just had the best food. And then, I found like a doctor that I liked. And I found a coffee shop that I liked. And I found this and that. And then I found a Facebook ad for a fairy company. And they were like, do you like to dress up? Do you work with children?
Are you automatically a fairy just by nature of who you are?
Yes. Check the box.
I consider myself more of a fairy tale creature because I've been all of the things.
Yes.
I've been a queen, a princess, a fairy.
An ogre.
I've been an ogress too.
Yes.
And now a mermaid. So it's like all the fairy tale creatures, I have been them.
Yes.
So it was like, I do all those things. And that job, because of just the nature of the job, I drove everywhere. Yeah. And that's how I got to know.
And where were you based? In Studio City? Where were you based?
In Culver City.
In Culver City. That's right. You said that.
In Culver City.
Another city. A Culver City.
A Culver City. Because LA is the biggest county in the United States.
In the world.
Massive. So like you have different pockets of it and you're just like, I don't know where we are. I don't know where I'm going. Yeah. And I know it so much more.
And thank God for GPS. When I moved to LA, there wasn't GPS.
Oh my gosh.
I was printing out this. I was driving an old Saab 900 stick shift in the LA traffic.
Oh my gosh.
And I would print out MapQuest and hang it like in the ashtray thing of the Saab in the center console. And I'd have to be like, oh, what's next? Oh, oh God. And I'd be like,
this is how I die.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the end of all things.
Yes. It was quite shocking. The traffic and just the entirety of the city. I could see just stepping into it. I've never been here before. I'm like, whoa, this is why intimidating.
I'm driving Abby around.
Yeah, this is why Lauren's driving and not Abby. I was like, nope.
Yeah. I've got this zippy little key and I'm like,
she's living life.
They rolled up. I'm like, she knows what she's doing.
Oh, yeah.
She's got this rental car down pat.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's so zippy.
Oh, yeah. That's like the word of the day, like zippy.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
I like squeal it in the car all the time. I'm like, Abby, look at us go.
And I'm like, oh, God, please let me live.
I'm like, this is the part.
Anywho, wow. Yeah. How did we get here? I'm not sure.
Oh, it was great. I was like driving up the hills like my car never would have made this. This is fantastic. Yeah.
So you've been in LA like a long time, and you've probably seen like so much of it change since you first got here.
Yes.
Like I'm sure that's been a lot, but
yeah, for sure.
So you're mermaiding. Let's see. I'm trying to get a timeline as far as like how long have you been mermaiding?
Since effectively everything began in 2005.
Okay.
So
05, 2005.
Okay. 14 years.
A long time.
Did you work for a company at all to do mermaiding? You just did it on your own. Okay.
I've never worked for another company. I've been a contractor mermaid for other companies they brought me on for things, but I've never I started Mermaids in Motion, my own. Mermaids in Motion LLC is my company.
Yes, girl.
And I started my company and I have been self-employed.
Wow.
The whole time.
Well,
you guys
I'm impressed.
Yeah, you guys have that in common. Abby definitely prefers to be self-employed.
Absolutely.
I can't do it. I can't. Since I quit the residence director position, no more employers. I just cannot. Yeah. I can't imagine life that way now.
Hold on to your fins, mermaids. The Everyday Mermaid Podcast will be right back.
This episode of the Everyday Mermaid Podcast is sponsored by our friends at Mermagicon.
Yes!
I'm kind of like Oprah. I'm like, you get to go to Mermagicon. You get to go to Mermagicon. You get to be a mermaid. You get to be a mermaid.
Everybody is
a mermaid. It's going to be great, y'all.
It's going to be flippin'-tastic. Hey, Abby.
Yes?
When is it?
It's going to be in February of 2020 in Manassas, Virginia, very close to D.C.
Yay.
So You get to like go stay in a cool hotel. We had a fun little mermaid gala and all these activities and classes. You can get like free diving classes and certifications and mermaid modeling stuff,
Ooh, yes.
photo shoots. Girl, let me just tell y'all, Magicon, you don't want to miss it. And we're not.
No.
We will be there.
Oh, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And if you want to go to MerMagicCon, just check out mermagiccon.com. Get your tickets. And they're on Facebook at MerMagicCon as well. But just check them out, y'all, because you don't want to miss it. It's going to be great. This podcast is also sponsored by our friends at Metro Merfolk.
Yay!
We love them so much. They helped us buy these lovely microphones.
They
And
did.
don't we sound so great?
We sound so great, but we'll look even better after we take some of their classes.
Oh my goodness, yes, they have all kinds of things. They got like a mermaid boot camp coming up. I can't believe it, but they are like, it is a great group. They've got classes for kids and adults.
If you need to get that tail in shape, look no further.
Look no further than Metro Merfolk, y'all. And you can find them on Facebook and Instagram at Metro Merfolk.
Yay!
This podcast is also sponsored by FinFest. Oh, yes, it is. It is. Mermaid FinFest in Terrell, Texas.
Yes. Our first official podcast on the road.
It's going to be so great. We're going to be there Labor Day weekend, and we're going to be live podcasting, but they're going to have lots of really like high-end mermaids there, some celebrities, you know. We're going to go marry the ocean, apparently, have a little ceremony. It's all about ocean conservation.
So excited.
Taking care of the ocean
Yep.
and all of our fishy friends under there. So I'm really excited about it, and you should be excited too, and we hope to see you there. Get your tickets at mermaidfinfest.com. So every episode we have what's called # Jodi Moment, where we just celebrate who Jodi Benson is.
Celebrate.
Yes. Oh, yes, we do. But first, let's see.
What did you forget,
So
Abby?
I may or may not have forgotten our voice box that we use for the # Jodi Moment.
We need to put it in like an Ursula shell.
Yes, we need to put it in something. Well, I put it in a little box, and like I had to tape over the sensor. Anywho, it's a whole
You put
thing.
it into a box and then put it into another box and then
use
use it to myself. And then when it got here,
I smashed it with a hammer. Okay. Wow. So, # Jodi Moment.
here we go.
Yes, here we go. Okay. No. All right. Okay. Enough of that.
You've
All
gone
right.
too far.
We've gone too far.
Never too far.
Too much. Okay. Okay. So, what we normally do is we have like something about Jodi that we just have noticed or that we love or whatever. But
Right.
we would love to hear, for this # Jodi Moment, if you have anything that has just like inspired you or just like changed your life or not, about Jodi Benson.
Yeah.
What do you have anything about her or the movie or how it anything for our Jodi girl? We're putting you on the spot here.
Go.
Well, all right. This is an urchin matter.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. That's a good one that we've never used before.
Never used.
I gotta give a shout out to my third floor neighbor Chad, who actually came up with that one.
Oh, that.
I just,
Chad.
It's Chad.
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 Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
I, like all of us, I am assuming, was obsessed with The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
And I did have that VHS tape. I did get the flu at one juncture, and I think I probably watched it in a span of several days when I was home, sequentially from start to completion, even the end of the credits.
Yep.
At least several dozen times.
Sure. And
Plus,
yes.
watching it with my friends over and over and over
Right.
and over.
Yes.
And I mean, the thing that I always loved the most, the music was great. I really loved the animation in that film. And there were just moments, and for some reason, for me, it was always about Ariel's hair and the way it flowed around her so beautifully, framing her face, her shoulders, her seashells, whatever it was framing.
Yeah.
So Jodi Benson's voice obviously is just, it is so unique, so one of a kind, and really was the soundtrack to much of my youth in my mind. I'm a very musical person as well. Musical mermaid, hashtag musical mermaid. There's a keyboard hiding under there.
I was a classical piano major.
What?
Yeah.
My gosh.
Stop it. Oh, I love this. Okay.
Gosh.
Anyway.
Carry on.
But I learned to play a lot of the songs.
Of course.
I was not a classical piano major.
Don't have to be.
I can't read music.
Don't have to.
I play by ear. And so I'd listen to stuff and figure it out. And my family can attest to me plunking out every song at some point of The Little Mermaid. So
Love that.
the music was huge, but again, just the hair.
What
is it about the hair?
It's just the movement, something about it, how like, and I read something to where how they studied how hair moved underwater. Of course, they like looked at it underwater, but they also looked at it in space. They watched videos.
Hair in space.
Exactly. But yeah, I am with you there. It is unlike anything else I've seen, the way that they animated her hair. And of course, it's like completely unrealistic.
Right.
Because
Totally.
It's a meme on the internet.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like there's two that are my favorites, which is like it didn't give me unrealistic expectations of like men. It gave me unrealistic expectations of hair, and woodland creatures' willingness to clean my house.
Buffalo real dough. Where are these birds at?
The ones I remember the most are when she's at the top of the grotto and it's going
Oh yeah, like all
around her. That you know the scene. She's looking up and her eyes look ridiculously large, and it's doing this. And then when she's coming back down and it's all just this tower of perfect red tendrils.
Oh, yes,
and
girl.
then there's
I've got
when
chills.
she does the and then it's blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
That would not happen.
No one's hair does that fresh out of the water, boys and girls.
It sticks to your face. It is not really that pretty.
It's matted down.
Yeah, it's not cute, y'all.
It might be salty and dreadlocky if you're
Right?
if you've got my hair texture, it's dreadlocked.
It's not a good look, But hey, Ariel can deal
Look
with
at
it.
me. My hair's a hot mess the majority of the time, let alone when it's covered in salt water.
Girl, yeah. Ariel, her hair was the shiz. Like,
It was on point.
yes, absolutely.
True. Even out of the water. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
huge
Out of the
and
water.
full and
Yeah.
glorious.
Yeah, like
It's so rude.
Volume.
all about that volume.
She's all about that volume.
That sea salt conditioner, though.
Something. Who knows? But
Maybe it's a little kelp in it. There's like she's got that seaweed
Treatment.
moisturizing
Yeah.
treatment.
definitely.
Deep seaweed
Deep
moisturizing
seaweed
treatment.
moisturizing
Seaweed
treatment.
conditioner.
It's not a keratin treatment. It's a kelp treatment.
Oh, yes, girl.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah,
That's a good one.
so good.
Hashtag Jodi Benson moment.
Hashtag
That's it.
Jodi moment.
Oh, Jodi moment.
For Jodi Benson. It's all the same.
I got all Pacific on you. Pacific.
Speaking of, though, let's talk about real quick the aquarium of the Pacific that's down in Long Beach.
What?
So I'm really, really used to, aquariums being super bright and colorful. And for some reason, I assumed that that's also what the aquarium of the Pacific was. The Pacific doesn't have super bright and colorful because it's really cold.
That's not true. Totally.
Some of it is. Don't worry. But I'm of course used to the Atlantic in the school, because I did a lot of swimming in the Bahamas and off the coast of Florida.
Caribbean.
Yeah, in the Caribbean. And so it's just they're super bold colors. So I went to the aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach and I was like, what?
We can't kelp it.
I know.
That's another
But it's
great
still
one.
really fun. That aquarium is still really, really fun because they have the mammal creatures that they have their big sea lions and they do little during the feeding. It's so much fun.
And I do want to point out that those are all rehabilitation creatures.
Yeah.
They're not there for performance for you to be all. It's not a SeaWorld situation or anything like that.
Right.
And that's part of what I love about the Long Beach Aquarium, the Pacific.
Yeah.
Specifically.
I can't remember if it's the Long Beach Aquarium or if it's the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Either way, there is a sister aquarium in New Zealand, which is great. And it is so funny because they have these penguins that they're tiny and they're like teal. They're gorgeous.
What?
I have video.
I just started drooling.
I know.
Did you see that?
And they bark. They sound like dog squeak toys.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I have the video. I have video and it's glorious. So the penguins, like they're tiny little penguins and they're teal and they sound like dog squeak toys. And they're all rehabilitated too because it's like a sister aquarium. They have like an internship program where they'll send researchers back and forth between the two in New Zealand. And they have the good penguin of the month and the naughty penguin of the month. And it is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like the good penguin. When I was there, she stuck up for her mate when he was being bullied by other penguins.
Oh my gosh.
And she like made sure that other penguins had food, and that was why she was the good penguin. And then the naughty penguin, he was like for being mean to other penguins and for stealing their rocks.
Oh my gosh.
And for pushing other penguins into the
No. Oh my gosh.
And that was
penguin.
He was the naughty penguin.
Naughty.
But like it's hilarious because of course like the naughty penguin is like the most like the saddest one there. He's like missing half of his like lower jaw. He like doesn't have like one of his flippers.
And I'm sorry, short end of the.
I know.
Yeah,
And he's the
come
meanest
on.
one there, and he's just like, "This is my lot in life. I'm gonna use it."
Oh my gosh.
And they're all like that. They're all like, like some of them have head trauma and they
Yeah.
can never survive in the wild. Like some of
little
them
baby
just
penguins.
like got hit by boats or something like that, and they can't. And it's they are
Gosh.
literally the most lively and hilarious penguins. It was so funny.
I need to see this video like immediately.
It was I was in such a good place. Like this is the greatest.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Wow.
Teal penguins
Yeah,
that
teal.
bark and are naughty and nice.
It was hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll pull it up. It's great.
Well, speaking of teal, and things that swim. I'm just trying to get to the monofin here. I'm just trying to get
Got
to
it.
Linden's
Oh, we're doing a
monofin.
segue.
Yes, we're doing a segue.
We're doing a segue.
a segue.
Ooh, that is good. Okay.
Yes, we're gonna learn more about
Yeah.
Mermaid Linden's monofin.
Yeah. So you have these monofins here, and they're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
They are gorgeous. And of course, Lauren and I's colors.
Right.
We'll just bring. Do you want each one?
Well, let's just do one,
one, yes.
and like really like ooh and ah over it.
Thunder.
No way.
What the F?
Whoa.
No way.
I knew it got dark.
It's raining in California. This is the
Y'all.
second time since I've been here.
It's raining.
Oh God. Do you need help?
No, I got it.
2 hours later.
So Mermaid Linden, you have developed a monofin.
Yes.
And I know that because our dear friend Nerdmaid Faith just
Yes.
reviewed it.
She did.
And did a beautiful job.
5 out of 5 shells.
So 5 out of 5
is
shells.
like so rare.
Super rare.
Yeah. So you win.
I'm honored, and I messaged you, Nerdmaid Faith, but I've been following you for a long time, and I am truly honored that you love the product so much.
Yeah.
Really, really, really. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Because I know you can be a tough audience.
Yes.
And I love that you can be a tough audience. So I'm really, really excited. And I just want to point out right away, anyone who has any of my mermaid products from the Kids Mono, the thunder.
Yeah.
I know you guys can't hear this, but there's thunder.
There's thunder back there, and she's flipping out. I love it. My gosh.
Here comes the rain again. Okay.
All right. So
Anyone who has my products, if there's something about the product that you're either displeased with, you think could be improved, or you just downright don't like, message me. Tell me, because I'm always looking to improve, upgrade, enhance, and make things more ergonomic for the rest of you. And all of these products, like these monofins, starting with the kids' fins, tested all of them extensively before. I mean, to the point where the factory was annoyed. They're like, Linden, another update, really?
Like,
funny.
Yes.
Yes, it must be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, it has to be.
So do you have one with you that we could look at and like play with?
Well, girls, that's part of my my little surprise for you today.
What?
What?
Naturally, you came all the way from Tennessee, and I wanted you to have one of these monofins for your shelves.
Oh my God.
So you're each getting. I took a wild stab at it and thought the purple and teal was going to be your thing.
Yes.
How did you know?
How did I know?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's so
my
beautiful.
word.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look, it even has the scales.
Scales on it.
Oh my gosh, and it's purple and teal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Also known as ultramarine purple.
Yes, girl. Of course it is.
Fin was mermaid for you. There's cheesy packaging.
Yep. Love it. Love it.
Cheesy packaging.
No, that's not going to stay. So.
Would you like to help me? Yes, unsheathe the...
Oh my word. It's beautiful. Look, it even has your logo.
Oh.
Oh my god.
So the neat thing about this, for folks who have followed my crazy little career over the past decade or so,
Yes.
I have a signature crescent-shaped fluke.
Okay.
And there's a story behind that, and there's a
Yes.
reason it became that way. So my original tail, my first ever tail that I mermaid with the help of Hollywood special effects artist Alan Holt, who is now a dear, dear friend of mine, and my gosh, did he put his heart and soul into helping to show me create, dream with me, and make this thing. We worked on it for 7 months, this original silicone tail. It's the first one was 37 pounds.
Okay.
The second iteration from the same fiberglass mold is it's 48. It's almost 50 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're under my bed, under my kelp bed. But
Oh.
the fluke, the shape of the fluke that we chose to make is this crescent shape.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. First of all, at the time, thunder. At the time when I wanted to make this tail, there weren't really professional mermaids running around doing things. But I
Right.
wanted to have a unique. I always have to be unique. I don't like following trends. I like to make trends. Or
Same
just
girl.
heart,
Same.
drummer, beat,
Yep.
totally different. I'm like,
And I'm not the opposite, but for me, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So if I'm imitating you in some way, shape, or form, I like you a lot.
that's
So.
cool.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that too. I mean, it is. Everyone has their own unique way of expressing
Oh, yeah.
their own passion styles and everything. And so, because I'm a science geek, I really researched all the fastest fish in the world. I wanted this tail not only to be really pretty, and really sleek and really hydrodynamic, but I wanted it to be powerful and resilient.
Wow.
And so, some of the fastest fish in the world possess a crescent-shaped fluke. Like if you
Oh
think
my
about
gosh.
the animal kingdom and you think about swordfish, you think about certain sharks, there is a crescent element to the shapes of their flukes.
Okay.
Oh.
You know, whales and dolphins and many other marine mammals have that classic, you know, mermaid shaped
Right,
fluke that you
right.
kind of
Yes.
traditionally think of.
Yes.
I thought that was even back then in the early 2000s. I'm like, that's overdone. I want to be unique. I want it to be something that even if you just saw the silhouette of this tail,
You would know.
you know
Okay.
this is a Mermaid Linden tail or photo. So
Genius.
that was my unique
And it's
footprint
mirrored in your logo as
in
well.
the logo. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So so I worked with, obviously there were teams I was working with overseas who were actually doing the digital renderings
Right.
to create this physical mold of the product that you're now seeing today. But this adult monofin, this is a unisex monofin. It fits all the way from women's size 4.5 all the way up to men's size 11.5.
Oh,
And
look
they
at that.
come
Comes
with-
right out.
Yeah, so this is just a little form holder. Maybe. Dang. So this is a little booty. It's a little 5 mil booty. Thunder. There's a little 5 mil booty, and this little booty, it's got smooth skin on the inside, so you can feel how nice that is.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, you just want to like,
Yeah.
It's like petting a fish.
Yeah.
It's like petting like a dolphin or like
Yeah.
that silky
Smooth.
velvet.
like the underside of a stingray.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
the underbelly of a stingray. If we have all
underbelly.
felt that, the little fingers, 2 fingers only at the aquarium.
Right.
Yep.
That's
A
right.
little thing, you know it. And that's kind of what this feels like. So my goal with these fins was to create something that was really going to be a great tool for a first-time mer or just someone who wants to do something for fun, for fitness in a pool that's different. And it's also great for underneath your own tail if you want to create your own tail.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's incredibly versatile to be able to fit it into somebody else's tail skin.
Yeah.
And by accident, they do fit into more than one. The only company that makes a tail specifically to go around the children's and adults Mermaid Linden by Body Glove monofins currently is the Mer Tailor. Eric Ducharme, the Mer Tailor.
Yeah. He was selling them. I was just there, and he was, or at least had an example. I'm not sure how it was set up. I can't remember. But I remember seeing your monofin there, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. and he spoke very highly of you. So
well, he's so sweet. We had a great time collaborating on this and just talking through it and trying to, he did it in his team. Eric and his team did an incredible job designing these skins to go around these tails or to go around these monofins. The tails go around them. But, and inside, I just want to show you some of the neat features of it. So again, you've got that smooth skin on the inside of your neoprene heel cushion. You have the quick pull down, pull it up right off your heel. You can also do a quick release buckle right off the side. And if you're really feeling crazy, you can also just pop it right out from the center.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Open it. So there are so many ways to not only get out of and into the tail, the monofin, but different ways depending on your shoe, your foot, your size, what feels good for you.
Yeah. I mean, which as a completely inexperienced mermaid makes me feel 1,000 times better like about using it, because it's just like, that's the first thing that comes to my brain is, what if I panic and I feel like I need to get out just for my own safety?
Yeah.
Some of the monofins, you can't do that quickly.
Yeah.
And this one,
That
like
little
just
quick
knowing that
release
all I have to do is one of 3 things and all of them will get me out of it. Game changer.
Yeah, it is. It's safety is number one. It's so important. For me, safety is number one. Functionality is super, super important. You want something speedy and fast. And then also aesthetic, of course. You want something that's pretty. And I realize this is not like this gorgeous thing that you're going to wear with like a costume, but it is meant to be a fitness tool, a training tool. It's a great first monofin, and you cannot beat the price. They're $59.99.
Girl, I don't know how you did
That's
that,
a steal.
but wow.
A steal.
And I love the foot.
Yes. So pretty.
Yeah, they're fun.
That's gorgeous.
Wow.
Thank you, darling. I shed like a tree in the fall.
Don't we all? Story of my life.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on about the features. There's so many features that I took into consideration when we were designing it. Like
just the attention to detail is...
The detail's amazing, and like, Faith was saying in her review, she travels, and it's so easily, you're able to like go wherever with it because it's bendy, and she can take it on the road with her, which is huge for us traveling gals.
Yes, it is, and you don't have to have a monofin bag for this fin. That's part of what I was
so
really,
great.
I contemplated what's the right size for this. You don't want something too small that's inefficient and too small of a fluke for a larger, taller person like yourself.
Yeah.
When you have height, you need that ambulation. You need that velocity from your fin.
Indeed.
And so
even the packaging though is thought out because it's plastic on one side and mesh on the other. So like, let's say it gets,
it's wet.
You've been swimming and it gets wet and it goes straight into your luggage and your luggage gets lost.
Yes.
It's not going to get like moldy and nasty and gross because it's mesh and you've left it to air.
And it has the straps on the back as well if you want to wear it as a backpack.
Yeah, super minimalistic.
Genius.
So it's good. I mean, I could go on and just bore you to tears with all the little features, like from how I decided the stiffness of the plastic. Like we went through many different iterations of the fluke itself, and I swam thousands of laps testing these monofins until I finally greenlit this type of plastic, this stiffness, the rubberized sides, the stiffness of the foot pockets themselves so that you didn't have blistering on the tops of your feet or pressure that was undue, but you still got the energy transmitting from your feet and your body into that fin. That really, it is a powerful monofin. I can't wait for you girls
I'm so excited
to
try it.
Like, I almost want to take you to the gym and just like hop you in the pool and be like, here you go. But
Radio.
it's a little much today. It's thundering.
It's like raining outside in California, which apparently I hear is not a thing.
Not a thing.
So yeah.
But happening.
It's happening. So you said, as we were talking before, that this was not like the plan, like to make your own Monofin and like go into this like retail world. So like, what made you like? Why did you create this in the first place?
It's a really sweet story, and again, kind of like I had mentioned earlier, how things just kind of line up for me, and it's just miraculous. It really is.
Girl, we're all about these mermaid puns right now.
Yeah.
You guys.
What if her and Sabrina Rose got together?
Oh my gosh.
Like you and I wouldn't even be here.
No, they would just keep talking and we would just be listening because she's our like mermaid pun like queen. Like just everything she says, and even in text messages, I'm like, how are you? What? Anyway,
yes.
Okay, so we want to hear the story. Yeah,
lady, we're gonna meet one day, and we're gonna pun it up.
Oh, it's gonna.
We're gonna do a pun off.
Stupendous.
I will video it. Okay,
it'll be the ship mer people say part 2.
Part 2. Yes.
I'm with my people. Do you know how many people make fun of me for all of my puns?
No,
oh, honey.
You know, and then I feel so sad. I'm like, oh, but I
they don't understand.
Yes, they do.
Oh my God.
Wow. Lauren, are you okay?
Ignore that just happened in my life right now.
Okay, that even scared the bejeebers out of me. I love thunderstorm.
That went straight up my spinal cord.
Me too. It actually stopped right at my neck, like in a little previous injury. Crash, bang, something or something. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now it's gonna bother me that I can't remember that song.
Oh,
okay.
Nope. I was worried about another one.
Heart, the beat
goes on and on and on and on.
There it is. Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome. I'm here for your musical enjoyment.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
This musical mermaid has been brought to you by the Everyday Mermaid Podcast.
Yeah.
Boom.
Crash. Yeah. Sorry.
So good. Okay.
How did I start making monofins?
All
Yes.
right. Yes. This is where we're going here.
That's a great question.
Yes.
Well, clearly you started for yourself, like because you created your own tale for you.
Right. Correct.
How did you decide to create for others?
Yeah. Like this is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yes, it is.
No, so, and I need to be careful what I wish for. I've learned this.
Ain't
the
that
universe
truth?
listens.
The universe is like, oh, I hear you.
Ears are perked, eyebrows up, like ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's start lining this all up for them.
We'll do that.
Here it comes, like lesson learned.
Yeah.
So how did it begin? So when I began mermaiding, and I was the first mermaid in LA doing parties and doing all of these events and edutainment stuff and whatever, I loved children's parties the most. Love working with kids. Love their energies.
It's the
Can do
best.
this.
We don't know anything about
Yeah.
They don't get it. We love collectively children, working with children. And so I was doing these parties, and there was only one brand of monofin out at the time. And I was very frustrated with this monofin because it would just fall off constantly. And I'd bring a couple of them with me to the parties because I wanted the kids to feel the magic of mermaiding and mermanning. And so I had several of these fins, and I spent more time putting them back on the children than ever swimming with them. And I just, to the point where I stopped bringing them. It seemed like such a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah. It's too much. Yeah.
So I stopped. Meanwhile, at some juncture, I was sought out by this awesome organization called Reef Check Foundation.
Okay.
Now, I had found out about Reef Check Foundation back in 2003, as a matter of fact. There was a documentary by two of my heroes, Howard and Michelle Hall.
Okay.
If you are not familiar with their underwater oceanic work and IMAX films, let me pull out my old dusty DVDs and show you.
Yeah.
We might be familiar without being familiar with it.
Yeah,
You
for
may
sure.
be.
Yeah.
You may be.
Yeah.
So there was a specific documentary, a Pacific documentary,
Yes, girl. Yes, girl. We're here for it.
that is called Coral Reef Adventure. And I received this documentary on DVD as a gift from a friend.
Yeah.
Who got it in a bag from, I think, the Oscars or something. It was like a Shrine
Oh.
bag. And he was like, Lyndon, this is so up your alley.
Hilarious.
And he gives me this DVD. And in this DVD, which was all about Howard and Michelle Hall traveling around the world to try to find the sources of corals dying around different
Wow.
parts of the planet.
Yeah.
They went to Fiji.
Yeah.
They were on the Great Barrier Reef. There were different places with potato cod and cleaner shrimp eating off their teeth, like taking out the regular. It's just coolest stuff. What? And I would come home on my lunch breaks from my residence director job.
Yep.
And I would watch Jeff Corwin.
Yeah.
I love him.
Talk about an OG.
Yeah, love him.
I have a story for you in a minute.
Okay.
A Mermaid Minute. And then I would watch, of course, this documentary over and over and over. Coral
Yeah.
Reef Adventure, over and over. And in Coral Reef Adventure, there was, I loved it so much. And there was, they were on the Reef Check boat
Okay.
in this documentary. So
Okay.
I knew about
So you
Reef
knew
Check.
about them.
And I was just like, wow, what a cool organization. And they talked a bit about what they did. So I started donating to Reef Check and became a member of Reef Check in 03 or 04, I think it was. Anyway, out of the clear blue sea, one day, I get this email from a man over LinkedIn saying, have you heard of Reef Check? Would you like to maybe come to a board meeting one time and hear more about what we do? We think that you have a great influence for young people and
Sure.
children, and we want
Absolutely.
to have more outreach for youth.
And you were like,
I mean, like,
sign
have you
me
not
up.
checked your member list?
Yes. Hello.
I am there.
Hello, I am here. Sign me up.
I'm mermaid for this.
Yeah.
So I go to this board meeting.
love it.
I meet all these other amazing board members. I'm so honored to be there. Again, the weird things that just come together. I am so lucky and so grateful for it. And there was a man on the board as well. This is before I was inducted onto the board, which I now am. And his name is Russ Lesser. And Russ Lesser was at that point the president and longtime president of Body Glove.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Right.
So at some point, I had some huge press run, a huge PR run. I got picked up by a news agency, and I was in every single
Sure.
everything.
Sure.
And so I go to the next board meeting, and everyone's like, "Mermaid,
Yeah.
so fancy
Excuse
now.
me.
we've been seeing you on TV and
Yeah.
things." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Believe
thing.
it. I really can't believe it." And Russ was like, "I want to hear more about what you do." And I was like, Russ, I'd love to hear more about what you do. He's like, "Well, obviously, I work with Body Glove." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know in what
Yeah,
capacity."
right.
I didn't know he was the president. I knew he worked with Body Glove. I didn't know he was the
He
president.
was kind of the guy there.
He's the big cheese, the grand fromage. So Russ invites me because I had some questions for him about just manufacturing. Because I thought for a minute, what if I could design a cooler monofin? But I don't know how I'm going to do. I know nothing about any of
Right.
this.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Come to my office next week." So I go to his office the next week. He's like, "Let's go get lunch." I was like, "Okay." So we go to lunch. We're talking more about just like light stuff, whatever. Sure. I had brought sketches of all these things I had, ideas I had, monofins, suits, like different things.
Yeah.
Which I had just made over time for myself, like just because I'm constantly sketching, drawing, ideas, music, whatever, creating
Yeah.
videos. It doesn't matter. And suddenly, Russ is like, "So we're going to go down to this, manufacturer right now." And I was like,
Right now?
"Like, you mean after
At
lunch?"
this very moment?
So unbeknownst to me, Russ had already decided to propose a line of mermaid products based on my designs and my brand.
Oh my gosh.
I pretty much fell off my chair.
Yeah. Did you like? Oh my gosh. Did you flip out? I would flip out. I would have a heart attack.
I still can't believe it.
Oh my gosh.
And so he just
I'm not breathing.
believed he believed in my brand, and I
Wow.
Just-
Before you even had one.
well, I had one.
Like,
Well,
I'd had one for a while, but he didn't know the great. He was really excited about the Mermaid Minute series I'd created.
Okay.
Which I don't know. Do you know about that at all?
I don't know, and you need to tell me more about it.
Okay. So I had released season 1 at this point of Mermaid Minute, which is my children's ocean educational series on YouTube.
Yeah.
I created this because it's what I wanted to do with my mermaid self, and I knew I didn't have a production company or anything at that point, and so I said, I'll just be my own. Screw it.
right. Yeah.
So I borrowed
what we do.
cameras, I borrowed lights, I did all the things.
Yep.
And I made, with green screen and underwater footage I'd filmed on scuba trips and dive trips. I studied the animals, I got the facts, I licensed, and actually, no, at that point, I composed my own music for this piece. I created the bumpers. I edited the whole thing. I learned how to do nonlinear editing better on a new system from a friend who was an editor for like big TV shows. He came and helped me, a neighbor. And I worked so hard. I was horrified of being in front of the camera. It took me so long to get my openings, my little sound bites and everything in the green screen. My friends were there trying to make me laugh, holding my tail up with like my 30-pound tail with like 35-pound tail with like a what were they using? A broomstick.
Thinking like
holding it up because the fluke was too heavy.
Oh yeah.
And they're like holding it up. I have really funny behind the scenes of this, like me against a green screen, then I'm against an ocean. Hi, little sea
Like
fans.
full on beached whale.
Yeah.
Full on beach whale. Full on.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, all of it and all these things. And so I created, and I can tell you right now, the proudest I am of anything I've ever created is Mermaid Minute. Aww. Because I'm going to cry.
Well, that
Feel
makes
'em.
three of us.
Feels.
Yeah. It's like, it's everything. It's all of my passions in one thing.
Wow.
Yeah. And Russ saw that and was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. And he has grandchildren and just felt that thunder in my feet.
Yeah.
And so Russ took a huge leap with me. He really, really did something that I never anticipated. And the process began, and I never could have dreamed how complicated, challenging, wonderful, scary. Gosh, wow. Yeah. So I now have, after this was in late 2012, and then really we began in earnest in 2013, and we co-branded. Whoa. And so Mermaid Linden by Body Glove was born.
Yep.
And we did all of these designs, and I learned about doing the Pantones and the colors and communicating with the people who in the factory in China who there were language barriers, and I had to physically draw things and spell things out and take photographs and explicitly like formulate things. I mean, their pictures, I can show you, it's unbelievable, you guys, what it took to get to this point where these monofins and all these other products came to a reality. And so, and I turned myself into a cartoon for season 2. I designed myself as a cartoon with the help of an illustrator and some more friends. So cool. So season 2 of Mermaid Minute, which I did on Kickstarter, overfunded. Again, I could cry.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for believing in me.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Tears.
It's amazing. And I think it's interesting. I mean, like you were meant to do this, like you were meant to.
Seems that way.
Yeah. And wow. And it, I think a lot of people, especially in the mermaid community, expect things to happen overnight or not
that out of your head.
Yeah, get it out, y'all.
Right now.
And just, in general, I think people and it's because we don't necessarily show the blood, sweat, and tears that like go behind all of our projects and stuff.
See our last episode.
Yeah.
What life is really like.
Yeah.
Versus what life on camera is like.
So like this has, been so many years and, you developing yourself and your brand and all of this to create this like massive thing. And it's just really cool.
It's been fun. Again, I think something to remember, when you follow your heart and you truly follow your heart, you stop listening to the people, the naysayers, the skeptics, the people who are sadly coming from a place of fear in themselves. They're too scared to do what you're doing, so they're going to project that you're stupid for doing it. Gosh. And it's hard to not listen to those people because they're your parents or your best friends or your partner.
Absolutely.
Or people who you believe in, or even people who have done amazing things, but maybe they don't want to see you succeed for whatever reason. There's an insecurity. You don't know the motivations, but if you love something, if you have a vision, if you are passionate, if you wake up dreaming about it at night and you can't stop going and you can't go back to sleep because you have this idea and you have to write it down, or you have to journal about it, or you have to draw something, you have to play something, or you have to sit, like I'm getting little goosebumps all over.
Yeah. I might cry again.
You've got to do it, you guys. You've got to follow your passion. Yeah. You have to say, forget all you people.
Yep.
This is what is making my heart sing. This is what's making me get out of bed in the morning. And I need my little sea fans to learn about the ocean. And that is what I heard in my heart. And I went and I had the most amazing supportive parents. And my friends faked it till they made it.
Yeah.
There were some people who were skeptical or thought I was nuts, and I was just like,
Yeah.
wait till they see what I'm going to do.
Right?
Wait, just wait. And I was like, shoot, I hope I can really do it.
I know.
Can I do it? And then when it came together, I mean, I'll never forget when I cut together my first true Mermaid Minute episode, and the music was done. You know, a friend helped me mix the music that was composed just for it, and I got footage from the NOAA website and still photos.
Sweet.
And I had researched all of the material and the facts about the animals, and it's 1 minute about a topic or subject in the ocean.
Wow.
And I wanted to pack as much information into that minute as I could, because children are excited by a lot of like fun, exciting stimulation. So lots of cuts, tons of footage. You wouldn't believe how much went into this minute.
1 minute,
of
yeah.
footage. My goodness gracious.
Girl.
It took me days to edit each minute.
Yeah, I believe
Movie
that.
day at a preschool is always better in theory than it is in actuality.
Real life. Attention spans are short.
So short.
They are.
And yeah, people have no idea how long it takes to actually edit like just a minute.
Quality content, guys.
Yes, quality
High
content.
production value.
Ooh, boy.
Bells and whistles.
Yes. Whistles, if you will. Yes. Yes. People have no idea. Well,
No.
I respect you so much. And like, I am in love with you now and just want to like,
It's mutual.
yeah.
I love you girls too.
I just want to stay here at your grotto forever and ever. Amen.
Eventually it won't rain.
Yeah.
The sun will come out
Sometime.
Maybe not tomorrow.
I
think the storm
front's here
for at least 4 days.
Oh,
no, I'm
gosh.
kidding. Maybe like
So crazy.
Yeah. Craziness.
there'll be sun.
I mean, literally on our way here, I was like, it's such a beautiful day.
I know. We were like, look
It's
how
so
gorgeous the sun is.
Look
Yeah.
at how pretty it is.
Yeah.
Bam.
Well, Mermaid Linden, you will be our sunshine today.
Well done, Abby.
Just
made my day.
And you know, now that you've been on the podcast, you can officially be an everyday mermaid. So we have a little everyday mermaid sweatshirt for you. Yes. Hopefully you can untie that. I don't.
It really
know
is
how I
perfect
did it.
on such a
Yeah.
rainy day because it's gonna get a little.
It's gonna
chilly
get a
out
little
there.
chilly. You get a little everyday mermaid vibe.
Please hold while we process this request.
Put it on.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on right now.
I'm putting it on right meow.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Oh my goodness. Look at it. So cute.
I didn't even realize it.
beautiful.
Boat neck. Well
Yeah, girl.
done.
Just a
love
nice little
this.
comfy, just, you know, like,
I mean, it's perfect for a mermaid. A boat neck.
oh, girl. Hadn't even thought about that. That is fan-flippin-tastic.
Girls.
Yes, girl.
Seriously, I love this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my gosh. This has just been a pleasure, and like, don't even know what to say. I'm just so
yeah.
grateful for you. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so
Thrilled.
much.
Thrilled.
Whoa. Okay. So we will see you at Mermaid Fin Fest
Oh, yeah.
Labor Day weekend.
Who's going? Who's going? Raise your hand.
Holla.
We're all going.
And you can go too. Get your tickets at mermaidfinfest.com.
.com.
They are actually, they help us here at the Everyday Mermaid
They
podcast.
sure enough do.
Yes. So we are thankful for them, and we want to see everybody there.
Big
So-
fans of the fest.
Yeah, this event's going to be a mermazing event.
Yes.
I'm really excited about it, guys. This is going to be just BT dubs. My first ever appearance at a
Wait,
mermaid
what?
themed event.
I'm sorry. I had no idea of this.
Kind of a big deal.
This is a huge deal.
And why am I going?
Yes, where are you going?
It is so conservation centered.
Yay!
And that's my heart. That's
Yeah.
why I do what I do. That's what it's about.
For sure.
It's not about, contests or pageants and things like that. That's
Sure.
not my scene.
Sure.
This is really, really rich content. This is
Yeah.
edutainment content. And I'm going to be doing a keynote talk and workshop and Monofin demos.
Yes,
So,
girl.
just saying.
Yes, girl.
I'm really excited.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, it's at the end of August. And it is outside of Dallas, Texas.
Yes, in Terrell, Texas.
Texas.
Terrell.
Labor Day
I
weekend.
used to call it Terrell, Texas. And we drove through there, and my father was like, you called it what now? That would be Terrell, Texas, honey child. Try again. So, Terrell, Texas.
Terrell, Texas.
Yes, Scuba Ranch, and we are all going to be there. So you can be there too. Mermaid
We gotta
Finfest.com.
make sure our hotel rooms are connected.
Oh, yes.
FYI.
Yes, Brady, can you handle that for us? Can you
Please.
just work that out?
Pretty,
We would
pretty.
love that.
Pretty.
Just a big mermaid slumber party.
Poor Peter.
Yes. So, yes, everyone, come see us at Mermaid Fin Fest, and you can follow Mermaid Linden on Instagram and Facebook, and you have a website. So tell everyone where they can follow you.
Yeah.
On Instagram, it's Mermaid Linden.
And
It's
that's-
Linden.
There you go.
Yes, like the tree. And on Facebook, it's Mermaid Linden.
Perfect.
And on YouTube, you can type in Mermaid Linden and you'll find me. And you can watch Mermaid Minutes.
Yes.
Learn with all of my little sea fans
gosh.
and I
Yes, we
about
must.
the magic of our oceans.
Yep.
And see other fun little things too. I do all kinds of fun videos on my YouTube channel. I have
Oh my gosh.
many videos since 2009.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So follow her at Mermaid Linden.
Definitely do that. Definitely do that.
Oh, and mermaidsinmotion.com or mermaidlinden.com. All goes to the same place.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. Love that. So follow her immediately. And then if you want to follow us, we are at Everyday Mermaid Podcast. And we should mention that this podcast is brought to you by our friends at Metro Merfolk. They have got classes for kids, adults, all kinds of stuff, boot camps, mermaid galore. Y'all just go check them out at Metro Merfolk.
They're just wonderful.
We just love them.
We just love them.
We love them, and if you're looking for like a pod or whatever, like go check them out. Like ask them any of the questions.
Yeah.
They are there.
Where are they based?
They are over in the DC area, but it's kind of like all the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's one of the
The
biggest
DC Metro
pods
Yes,
in the
DC Metro
States
yes.
is the Metro Merfolk.
It's huge,
Yeah.
and we love Colleen Circus Siren or Celtic Siren. She is fantastic and is a great networker. So if y'all have any questions, just go check her out. And
She will help you
She'll help
merge.
you find. Yeah.
She'll kelp you.
She will kelp you. Girl, yes. Love it. So Metro Merfolk, and then we're also sponsored by Mer Magic Con, which I'm obsessed with. And if you haven't gone, if you don't know anything about it, it's a great little convention. And I mean, they had, my favorite part was all the classes and the mermaid photo shoots and the underwater workshops. They had Mermaid Olympics. It was a crazy fun little time.
When is that happening in 2020?
That is happening in February of 2020. Lauren and I will be there.
Yes.
Lyndon, you should come check it out. It's a fantastic time, and y'all can get tickets at mermagiccon.com. So thank you all for listening. Thank you, Mermaid Linden.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
And thank all of you out there.
Thank you for listening.
Support and follow these girls. They are fantastic.
Thanks, girl. So are you. We love you so much.
We love you.
I guess until next time, mermaids, we will.
See you on the flip side.
I'm going to burp up lemonade bubbles.
Yeah, girl, do it.
There was some blueberry waffle in there.
Delicious. Sexy.
To find his son. Only the quaintest of mermaids.
Yes.
Quaint.
Blueberry.
Quaint mermaids.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4. We will get close to the mics, if at all possible, and force ourselves towards them.
Can you give us two?
See, I watched Finding Nemo, but I think I only saw it like twice, maybe.
The entire movie, Lyndon. I can quote
The entire movie.